Welcome back to Timberborn Update 7. My name is Nilaus and we are here with the next phase of the progression here, the logical progression. This is the robot phase where we are going to be replacing all of our normal beavers with hard-working robots. We're also going to be finishing up the last food and coffee so that we have everything set up, because we built this nice irrigated farmland area over here, easily accessible with hypertubes, or whatever they're called, tubeways, and also with power lines. So everything is set up, irrigation working, power lines working, lots and lots of power here. It's so nice that these no longer require any beavers to operate them. So we're going to be making a design here, and we are going to be making a design for robots. So we're going to make a bot factory. There are 3 of those ingredients, and they will be facing... Oh, right. Yes. Oops. Well, I guess it's going to be different than I thought. Okay, like 1, 2, and 3. They will make each of the different parts. We'll start from this one. You'll make chassis. You'll make limbs, and you will make heads. Okay. Why do I push them one in? Well, because that's a good idea. Here, because I also need to go up, and that we do with some ladders like this. And then up top I will be making the 2 bot assemblers. That one, yes, and that one. And then of course I need the road to go in here. The advantage of this is that I also now have power goes up here, and it also goes up, so I can actually use, we need them to be able to charge, and then I'll actually use these as a charging point so that we can get the robots to charge. And look at all this gloriousness. We can actually take this one out and then make it as a control tower instead, which is also going to be taking some power. There we go. That is going to be the module for building robots. And if I want more robots, yes I do, then I'm going to build another one of these. So let's get this one started. We are on the way to get our first robot. This one is in progress. 15%. It's gonna take forever. So we'll do some other things in the meantime. What I'm doing here is I'm trimming this area off, or sort of incorporating it, because I'm gonna turn this area into a little bit more of a industrial area than it was before. There you go, terraforming. So I can go up here, then come and bind. I'm actually thinking that when the robots spawn, then they need to be able to get out and get access to the tubeways immediately. So I'm thinking actually having a tubeway right there would be amazing. Because then it's kind of at the same level they want, and yeah, it's just going to be a great place. It also just means that they are no longer going to go up here or here. They can go out from the outside. That should be fine. Then they can go in here. There. And then the tubeway can go across and just smash straight in to this one. This also means that I'm going to have a hypothetical need. Oh, it's a very hypothetical. It's okay. I was really trying to come up with a good way of, or a good argument for using this. But honestly, the answer is you don't really need this at all anymore. So it's just easy just to take it out and use that for something else. Yeah. And then we can get the tubeways out on the middle. Power lines don't need to go here. So I can actually just take... Well, I still somehow like doing it this way. There. This one. This one, this one, and then we'll tubeway in there. So they know they have easy access to the tubeway as soon as they spawn into the tubes, and then go wherever they need to be used. Perfect. We have... okay, the robot did not even get made yet. So, where are you at? 71%. We want to see it come out and get into... okay. That's of no concern at all anymore. There we go, we have our first robot. So what is the first robot going to do? Isn't it obvious? The first robot is going to be working on robots. And these are so expensive. It's actually not the right thing, but different buildings have a different injury rate. explosive factories have high injury rates. These factories have high injury rates, but we really wanted like our explosive factory to be changed over to using using bots very quickly, because that's something that's where it causes a lot of injuries. So we don't really want them to be injured here, obviously. Let's do a change to something else while that is chugging along. Over here, if we look up here on the happiness, they do not have coffee and they do not have eggplant rations. So those are the things that we want to make. Don't think I need this. We can... Here's a little spot that is gray, so that may be a good place to build some farmland. Let's make some coffee here and some eggplants here. That's a giant area for eggplants. This one really shouldn't be here at all. This needs to be moved, and these two as well are also, they've outlived their time as well, so they need to go further in, and then we'll make some farmland on this side. So let's see, let's do this and this instead, and then I can liberate these two tiles. And so coffee maker, let's make this into a coffee plantation. Okay, right, so what do we need for coffee? Coffee, that's under food. There's a coffee brewery that needs beans and wood. Okay, and it also needs some power. So this one, if I move it one up, that would be excellent, because then I could actually get the power evenly, or easily. But it would, because then it could stand on top of something else. It could stand on top of the finished. Oh, coffees don't need that. Yeah, well, coffee beans, do I want to store coffee beans? Not really. I really like storing the intermediates. So this would not be a good idea. That could be coffee beans somewhere. That one, coffee beans. And then I would get the coffee maker. That's over here. And flip. That's not flipping. That's a drought started. It's fine. And then I also need like a coffee storage location. This one will then be fed automatically as long as I get the power inbound. And I also need this one just be like that, and the door in, and then I'll be happy. And then it just needs some storage. A giant coffee pot there. Oh, wow, yeah, this is drying out. Well, let's be mindful of that. Oh, hold on. If they come out of here, they really shouldn't be going like this. Then this giant coffee pot. Okay, maybe not that big. Here. And then they can go out and farm this area. Perfect. And then I also think I need like a regular farm for eggplants. Let's make that down here, and then take this area and just make it into... I'll make it the eggplants over here. We can make things bigger than we need it. Just need a large coffee plantation. There. Coffee plantation is... Oh, right. I also need a farm place to actually make the coffee, right? Eggplants, corn, canola, soybeans, cassava. Oh, it's a tree. It's a coffee bush. Like that. Except... even during non-droughts, it's... there. And then I'm going to make it up here in this house. Then we're going to get a little farmhouse. No, is that going to be a forester then? Yeah, does this... Okay, so that's not it. Then it's going to be a forester. Forester to plant and... Forester to plant it, I guess. Coffee bush. Yes. So that's going to make a coffee bush everywhere. Oh, it's already being planted from this one. So what is becoming obvious as we start making robots is that we are now chronically out of gears and metal plates. So what we need to do is we need to increase our industrial throughput. And where we're going to do that is we are actually going to kind of make this into a little industrial area, additional industrial area, because it's close by and it's nice and all that stuff. So what if we build 1, 2, 3? Now this is not connected. It really would like to be connected, but it is not. So how could we... Then we're going to be making... We're going to be making a lot of gear factories. So if we flip them, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we make 4 additional of these. Flip 1, 2, 3, and almost 4. But the good news about that is we can just make it, the gears will easily fit now. Because I just make it here and here. And then all of this gets done. Then I will make a ramp down here. So that we have a nice path there. And then on this side, we don't have a lot of room, but we have a little bit of room. And I'm going to be making like large boxes here. There. They don't fit very well. But I'm going to make them here. That doesn't work. This doesn't work. Then there's just some space in between. So that one and that one. This... plates, are they also here? No, plates are in the other one. That's so weird, but... Okay, that was actually completely useless. Oh, actually, maybe I need to go one back then. Because I need to use these instead. And they work better if they are hold one back. Here. Let's say one of them for the gears was actually correct that it had to be a big one. That one's for the gears. Good. But this is for plates, and this one is for plates. Planks and plates, yes. And then I'll just put an extra on top of these so they kind of seem like they're the same. Yes, this looks much better. Because then we have big storage here. All of this is just going to be increased, and nothing happens until this actually gets built. So we need to get this built fast, and then we can... Well, I guess all of this has to be prioritized, and then lower priority for this here, and lower priority. We want this to be taking over priority from haulers, for example. That's too important. But this is just, hey, we know we need a bigger industrial base, so let's make that. Let's do some eggplant building here. Eggplants, how do we make eggplants? Well, or what do we do with eggplants? They go in here, so that is a food factory we need. Okay, do we want to make a food factory out here? Not really. We could make the food factory back with the other... No, we'll make the food factory out here. We have the power as well. So it's just a matter of building it. So the food factory will have to be on first floor. We're going to have a farmhouse. Like so. There. This will make primarily eggplants. And then we'll have something in order for us to make a... we don't need a storage for this. Don't care about storage. And there, this food factory. That one. Is that actually connected? Oh, wow. It actually connects to the top floor. Nice. Perfect. Okay, well, that's brilliant. So this one is just making eggplants. Brilliant. And we are still running short on gears. That's not a big surprise. But we don't need that many gears, so we'll get this one in pretty quick. And then the only thing missing is to plant some eggplants here in this area. Good. And these will prioritized by haulers. Yeah, okay, so we're starting to use too many. We now have 7 robots, and the number of normal ones are... What is this? Deeper water. Okay, it's because our drought is just ended, so we don't have the water coming in just yet. We need a lot more workers because these are active, and up here we have now set all of these to be robot worker. We actually have 1 unemployed robot, and then the next thing I want to do is actually going to be for our explosives. So that will transition over to be robot based now. There. Yep. And then I guess the next thing we want to transition over is probably all of this. Because, and also smelters and that kind of thing. Also, maybe we should make like an efficient mine at this point. I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, because this is kind of running out, and the one we had up here is out. That's actually already been emptied. And yeah, so let's make an efficient mine as well. That's also something worthwhile here. How much is that going to cost? 4,000. Smash it in. Yes, thank you. And it's not going to be operating here. We can use the scrap metal recipe or the efficient. The efficient one is way more expensive, so we're not going to do that right now. Maybe later on, but not right now. I think it uses planks. Right, so we're just going to let this run for a little bit, build up a little bit more of our adults here. Maybe seeing some coffee coming in. That would be nice. I've also made these into dams so that for the next drought, then the water will retain out here a little bit at least. We have a very nice amount of planks, but not enough gears. It's always the gears. So what we do now is we start working on the iron bots here. They will now be working on the industrial lumber mill to make... No, that's not the one. Damn it. It was this one. Never mind. Another 1,000 wasted. This one. There we go. And then we can just set that up for all of them. And there we go. That's now how many unemployed bots... vacancies? Two bot vacancies. Okay. Well, we need more bots. It's slow with bots. We can see that our population is decreasing. The reason why it's decreasing is because I have turned off these two so that they will not, our replenishment rate goes down. I want to have around 60, but I don't want to scale them down until we have a large surplus of robots coming in. So that is, you can see there, it's only one of them that's actually working. So it's really struggling for gears. And therefore, if we can get the gear factories running now, that would be lovely. These two are not having gear factories or gears yet, but they will. This one probably should be switched back here. And then we'll now have 4 additional gear factories operational. Back here, over on the other side, we are now seeing the coffee. And we need to figure out who is... Oh, right. I think it's a... What is it called? Yeah, it's a gathering place, right? Gathering bush thing. It's a bush thing, so we'd use a gathering thing, and this one is gathering coffee beans. There we go. And that should be covering the entire area. Go. We want to see this one working. And then see that we actually start making some coffee. You're not there. Everything will eventually be turned over to robots, but all in due time. These are not the most important ones. Something new is happening. The bad tide is approaching. And we have now a little bit of panic. Because I just realized that this is not actually covered. This is not contained. This will cause bad tide running in here, destroying all the crops. Yeah, so we now have 2 days to panic. 3 days to panic. That's not enough. Well, I mean, it's enough to panic, but it's not enough to fix it. Right, that probably should have been done a little bit earlier. Because what we really want to do is we want to take this out and then up here on this plateau sort of build some sluices that just redirect it around. And that's a little bit too much to build in the time we have available, is pretty clear. Yeah. But what can we do instead? Because we have to do something to make sure that we don't contaminate all of this beautiful part. Like, it's mainly my new coffee and eggplant that I don't want to get ruined. It'll ruin like half of it. Maybe we'll just have to accept it for the time being. But it's more... It would be nice if I could do something about it. Like lead it off to this side. Something like that. I do think it should be possible to do something. Let's try to do something in panic mode. 'Cause, you know, that's always good. Then... I think that first of all, we need to make sure that I can get past this area. So we need to just kill some... We certainly need to make sure that we don't do anything more than we absolutely have to. So we'll need to clear this part. These two don't need to be cleared. They can just be paved over. And then I want the water to flow down here, and then I want to explode that way. That might actually work. It might actually be like a permanent solution. This kind of sucks that I killed the trees, but it has to be done. And then this one just has to go down here, and I guess this will be the path. So another thing that I definitely need, which is weird, is I need to make a storage of explosives here, because that needs to come in very quickly. There, that's going to be a very fast build. The reason for this is then I can have haulers go in here, and then the haulers can move back and forth, and then builders can go in with the explosives. I think that might be helping a little bit. And basically what we want to do, let's see, the bad water will flow down here, and it goes into this tile. Then it should be possible to just have these two tiles exploded away, which means this thing doesn't need to be removed. I will just make a something there. Okay. All right. Well, priorities. Okay, so now we're going to do something a little interesting here. We're going to explode this. We are then going to make sluice gates here. So this sluice gate will be automatic and close when contamination is above 5%. These two. This one will close when contamination is below 5%. So poison water, clean water. Excellent. Then I'm going to be bringing a down here. And everything is the highest priority. Now comes the fun part. We have tunnels. We're going to be making tunnels here. How the hell do we do that? There. Yes. And there. Right, so these tunnels have to be there. That's going to take forever. This tunnel, explosive, extract, and planks. So what I've done is I've also started bringing planks in here, prioritized by haulers, explosives, prioritized, just get it in here so the haulers are busy doing all of this. That could work if we can get these explosives out too far away from district. That's because this one is not prioritized, or this one's not done yet. As we scrape up some layers here, we can see our project in here. And also priority, max priority. They are tunneling in here. That's a new feature. And in update 7, and it's coming in right on time. 1.5 days. There we go. I think we might make it. We have 1.5 days to explode our way out there. And these ones are closed. These ones are open. And it's the extract that takes a long time because the extract is not really nearby. But at least you can get all the other stuff. There you go. And the other stuff is coming in a little bit closer. The planks are close, the explosives are close, so you can see how close they are. But then the extract is the stuff that needs deliveries. There we go. On the final day before the bad tide, we now have a tunnel going out here. And it maybe works like this. Perfect. We are then going to cut off this part here, because I don't want them to accidentally go over here to pick up some random stuff. You are also going to be not long for this world. You do not need to be here. That one goes away. And these two don't really need to be here either. So we can take those out and clean that up. Great. Right. That was interesting. And actually, now that I think of it, I don't mind doing this. And I want to just clean up after ourselves. There we go. We don't want to be able to go down there, but we do want to be able to clean that up. Good. Then let's look at the other preparations for the next one. We can set down the working time a bit back to normal because I was just being a rush. Then now it's the time for us to see if this actually works. It's going to be super exciting to see. I'm just going to double check. Contamination above, contamination below. It would suck if I just said it incorrectly. And over on this one, I said it contamination close when above, and this one is close when below. The most important one to look at for the bad tide is going to be the new one we just built to see if that works. Bad tide started, bad tide comes in, up, it blocks it, and up, dude, it's not quite working. Yeah, it's not really working. Why is it not working? These are closed. These are very open. Oh, closed downstream depth. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't ever close with downstream depth. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that just dries out. This is not going to be a big issue. Okay, these, don't do that. And over here on the bad side, over on this side, it is correctly flowing out. There's a little bit of contamination, but it'll be diluted before it gets anywhere dangerous. This one hasn't gotten any bad side in yet. Because there's a little bit more. This one, it's just flowing out here, getting very polluted. This is not a good mine to get. By the way, did we get the mine? No, we are lazy. Oh, treated planks. Man, that's also an annoying one. Yeah, okay. So this what comes in. This one works. It just had to not do that on close above downstream depth. That should not be there because you want to let anything go. This one will not pollute anything. So it looks like it's working. This is just flowing down here. It'll be a little bit of drought. This one will stop working soon. Here, yes, a little bit of pollution, but that will also again be diluted. And yeah, good. Let's just flow through this, see how it goes, and see how it works afterwards. And the bad side has ended. We are also seeing more happy. The reason why they're more happy is because the coffee is starting coming in and the eggplants are starting to come in. So it's good. Rooftop terrace is not really working as well as it should. So now the question is, will it also self-regulate and start flowing the correct way again? All of this will just be junk here, and it'll be sort of filling up in this reserve, and that's just the way it is. So yes, it flows back into the normal path. Here hasn't quite been filtered yet. Let's see about this one. This works perfect. Wow, nice. And you can see all of the stuff that got diluted in the beginning. It's just being washed away. So that means now bad sides are also fully automated. That's very nice. And we have now 31 31 robots, and we still have 4 unemployed or 4 vacancies, so can't even start assigning anything else. But what I've done is I've also now assigned this area. So now basically all of our gear workshops and all of our plank workshops are operated by bots, and all of our smelters are operated by bots, and our explosives are operated by bots. So that's a big step forward. What we're going to do next is actually a grease factory, because if we look at our robots, this is actually the next thing I want to do. Having this, even though it's really expensive, but we can do that. So when we get some more, hey, there we go. That was the second one for that. So good. And then what did I want to do? Okay, yes, a grease workshop. So a grease workshop is using canola oil and extract. So we actually need to up our canola oil production and extract production as well. That one costs 2,000 and like this, and this, and flip and rotate like this. So that will be here, here, and oh right, you know, we don't have actually charging points over here. We really should have some charging points, since this will also be now robots and robotized. This is all the canola oil storage we have. Not really good enough. So we need to get this taken out so that we can have this being made into some charging points, because they do need to charge the robots everywhere. There we go. I'm also doing this part here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to expand a little bit up here. I want to get this area sort of cleared out a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to follow this line. So so this is, I want to get more space here, because then I can expand my canola farm, and I do that by just getting a little bit of space over here, and then going down here to expand it. And as we transition more into robots, also build like a new farm for the treated wood. Instead of having a little wood farm here, this will be eventually taken out, because I'll be for more of a happiness buildings. And then the cassavas, we're not having enough, so to move the kohlrabi over, and then have expanded our cassava, and then also expanding a little bit on our, what was the other thing? That was soybeans in this area. There we go. So we now have more soybeans, more cassavas, more kohlrabi. All that should be good. And then that can also take all this out. Good. And now I can I think happily go up this line here. That one and this one, and then go in 3 steps. Yes, perfect. And that will be where we start exploding things from. And we'll also start, like, there's so many things when you're going up here to a new area. You just have to clean out some of this, some of the trees before we can explode anything. So get rid of the trees here. We now have 15 additional robots that are not, bots that are not working. So it's time for us to start working on some other things for bots, such as bot haulers. Boom, 10 of those. Bot workers or bot builders. Sure, let's also get some of those. Because they can actually work around the clock. That is nice. So we are now also starting to free up some more. So now we start running out. And then it's just a balance. We're starting to see less and less of our normal ones and more of the beavers taking over. And we get up to 49 now. So this is kind of an indication of what the next thing we want to do is. And that is actually transitioning out of using normal beavers at all. And then start working on all the cool things that we have down here that I haven't really focused very much on. But we need to focus on that in the next episode, which will be about the happiness. Just do a blitz towards the max happiness. 76 is the maximum happiness, and we can only do that if we have robots doing everything. So we're gonna need like maybe 200 robots and then down to 60 beavers, because I think that's a nice modest number. And then they'll just be chilling and having a good old time. They'll probably have a good old time around in this area, because we don't need the berries and we don't need this, and then we can use this area, which is super accessible for all their fun and games. But that's going to be in the next and final episode of this mini-series. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for following this series. I hope to see you in the next episode. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe and all that good stuff. Until next time, take care and stay effective.